All right, just very excited about the victory, very thankful. I thought Ole Miss did a wonderful job. Coach Hugh Freeze had them ready to play. And I think our guys were ready to play too. I don't know if we were quite as emotional for the Florida game, but that's kind of hard to do with all the things that perfect storm that came together for that one. But I think our guys were ready to play. But Ole Miss has got a good football team, and I thought they had a great plan on both sides of the ball, and of course took the lead like they did, and really they outplayed us pretty. I thought they outplayed us in the first half, especially their defense versus our offense. And we outscored them, but they outplayed us. If that makes any sense, you saw the two big plays, and those count too. I mean, you've got to defend the big play and the long plays, but the last was kind of a little scramble, and just kind of launched it in there and got a play there. But very impressed with what he's doing there at Ole Miss. But I was, equally impressed with our guys that even though we started out a little rough, we settled down and we started to play better football. Very few drives offensively. It's mostly big plays, which is okay. I'm not mad when we get a big play like that, but we did get a good drive there. I think 7 plays, 75 yards, 79 yards or something toward the end. I think our last touchdown was that was good to see. We know now that it's down to one game to win the right to go back to Atlanta. And we know that Auburn will be very ready to play. We know going there is a tough place to play. We know that Auburn fans don't really like Georgia a whole lot, and we know that we're going to have to be at our best. So I told the guys, get your mind right now. Get your jaw set. We got 7 more days before we can, have an opportunity to, finish. So we just know we got a lot of work cut out for us, and have a lot of respect for what Coach Chiswick's done throughout his career at Auburn, and we know that they're capable of knocking us off. So we got to get ready.
Mark, you just talk about, like you said, the touchdown right before half, just embarrassing the momentum of that building. Carrying over to the third, able to drop the score in the first drive of the third quarter.
Right, it was good to get, I guess we had 14 points in a row, basically back to back. That's very important, very crucial. And the first touchdown was big. We weren't doing a whole lot, and we get a 3rd and 1. And Mike did a good job of making that call. It's because if you don't hit that one, then still, I guess 10-0, and we're still struggling. So. That call takes a little bit of nerve because it's all or nothing type of play, but it was executed extremely well. Mike did a good job of putting that play in, and it was one that we'd used in years past, but you still got to coach it all over again if you hadn't run it in a while, and I thought the offensive staff did a good job there. But you're right, the last play right before the half was huge. It was very much like the play that Dave Green hit Michael Johnson on against Auburn, the situation we have a 7-man protection, let 3 guys run routes. You try to pump the ball to the left to try to get a 2 deep safety to move to the left, and then you turn back and throw it to the right. And what happened though is after he pumped it, he had to scramble to the right, and the safety never did recover enough to make a play. So. Our thought right there was we're going to take 2 shots. One was this play, and then if it was incomplete, then we were going to go ahead and try to launch one up a jump ball on the last play of the half. But thankfully, the first one went in.
Mark, you had to change your protection a lot where they were blitzing there, and those 5 sacks early.
Yeah, well, we just couldn't block their normal edge rush. Our tackles were struggling, especially the left tackle, and some things happened inside. But both of our left tackles, had some troubles with them. We knew on film they were very good pass rushers, and so what we started to do was run more 7-man protections, which is more of a maximum protection. But then we also ran more 5-man protection, which free releases everybody. But when you go a 5-man protection, you free release everybody. The quarterback has a mindset of knowing that the ball needs to come out pretty quick, so you just don't hold the ball quite as long. And And so it got better. It was a good change. But as the game went on, we started to protect better as well. Our tackles started to get on a little bit better.
Mark, the play action Murray for the first touchdown, is that one that you have to pick your spots and can only call it like once every few years?
Yeah, I mean, you once somebody sees it, it makes an impression, and no one wants it to happen to them. So usually, you don't get to call it very often. But we've called it a few times over the years here, and certainly called it a few times while I was at Florida State. And actually, Coach Bowden is the one who put that play in. Who knows how long ago? When I was a graduate assistant coach in 1985 or 86, whatever it was, we played Auburn and we ran it against them and didn't score because it was underthrown, but it was that wide open. But you just kind of selling out, show and run all the way. You really don't even pass protect. You just run block the whole way. And everybody kind of reads that body language and believes it's a run, and it usually lets you hold the ball long enough. And then your receiver tries to make the safety believe he's going to block him. And usually when that happens, the corner tries to come support the run, and a lot of times the safety tries to avoid the block, and then you just slip in. I didn't see exactly what happened other than he was wide open. I was watching the protection, but I'm assuming that's what happened. That's usually what happens.
David Greenwood had the ball and still had that play.
Yeah, Green did it at least once or twice in his career. Did a good job of hiding the ball.
Did Aaron look at those?
We did. I don't know if he did it quite that way, but we sold the run. You sell the run not only by a quarterback making a fake, but you sell it by your lineman going flat back and your fullback isoing on the linebacker and your back just flying up in there and covering up his numbers real good. And just hit it up in there like you run it as if you had the ball in your hand and try to make it as real as possible. But the trouble you have on that is the edge. We did get a guy come off the edge that sniffed it out and hit Murray just after he threw it.
How's Marlon Brown and looking good? And
I don't know. Chris had something with his shoulder, and Marlon obviously had something with his knee, so we just don't know yet.
Big picture, next week you get to accomplish one of your goals if you win. How do you make sure the guys are? Auburn's had a rough year.
Yeah.
How do you make certain?
Well, I don't know. It's just like I tried to start the minute the game was over. We got in the locker room and just started to talk to them about getting their minds right, understanding that we're playing Auburn, a fierce rival, and we're going to be at their place, and they're going to be playing out of their minds. They're going to be playing their tail off, and so we know we've got to get ready. We got to get ready, and knowing what's at stake, I hope that everybody would respect that.
Mark, can you talk a little bit about how the offensive line adapted when Burnett went out?
Well, we put Gates in there, and then inside, and we put Mark Beard at left tackle. And Beard's a very athletic guy, and he has the ability to play the position. He needs reps. He needs opportunity, and he got a lot of opportunity. And depending on what happens with Chris, he may get a lot more opportunity. We'll see.
Coach, Malcolm Mitchell said he's finally starting to feel comfortable getting in the offense. Have you been able to see that, I guess, the last couple games with his 2 TD catches now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's practicing better as a receiver. I think he's still maybe not quite as sharp at getting the hand signals and the little things, splits and who's on the line, who's off the line, stuff like that. He's still, a little bit rusty, but it's nothing big at all. I mean, he's adapting well and he's playing well.
Could you look like Ole Miss maybe shied away from the run a little bit there? They're kind of getting shut down early. How important was that for the?
It's huge. We were able to do that with our big men inside. We were able to do it without having to pressure a lot or play where we just roll our safety right into the box. So our safeties were in position to come up if they needed to, but we were able to play a little bit more two safety look. And so if you can stop the run with your big man and play some coverage, it's just tougher to throw the ball as well. If you run the ball well enough where all of a sudden you got to add another guy in the box because you're just getting beat, then all of a sudden you got some one-on-one situations, and we didn't have to get into that very much because we stopped the run.
Did Marlon take a helmet on the knee? Is that-
You know what? I really didn't see it. I really did not see it. I just saw him. I know the guy went low. I mean, he looked legal when he went to attempt to tackle him.
Can you talk a little bit about there was 4 turnovers in 5 plays?
Oh, that was wild, wasn't it? Yeah, that was wild. And, you know, it was good. And the thing about our turnovers, it seemed like we got a lot of yards after the turnover. We had, I think we had an interception, I believe, that was it Damien? Got a good amount of mileage out of it. I think it was him. Then, I don't know if it's a fumble or a quarterback threw it on their sideline. I don't know, the ball just kind of squirted out and hit, I think it hit Marlon again. I don't know if that was a pass or a fumble or what the Damien said it was, but, you know, he didn't really, I think he lost yards after that one. But the main thing is once you get the turnover, don't turn it back over. Let's secure the football and make sure that we still have the ball when it plays over.
Damien's been a pretty solid performer for y'all all year.
Yeah, Damien is we've always believed that Damien was gonna be an outstanding player for us. He plays a lot of the nickel, but he's very capable of playing a wide corner as well. But, you know, one thing he did, he really got in the weight room this offseason. He really helped himself physically to play the nickel, because you've got to do some run support there. And you're also the guy that's has to play those quick screens out there over and over. And so, you know, he's certainly gotten stronger, and I think he'll only get better in time.
Mark, motion was such a big topic. Did those 2 big pass plays for touchdowns in the first half affect motion?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, you could just even watch the our fans, you know. They were kind of getting antsy. You could tell they were getting a little concerned about what was going on. I don't know what they had thought was going to happen, you know, from the very get-go. But, you know, once we hit the long touchdown to Marlon, that made everybody feel a little bit better, I think, on the sideline and up in the stands. And then to have that last play before the half, you know, be a touchdown and us be able to take the lead, I think everybody felt a lot better about it, and we knew we were going to get the ball back, which is good as well. But, yeah, I mean, it's a tight ball game. It didn't end that way, but it started out that way.
Can you talk about how Colin Barber's punting continued to seem to put you guys in good situations every time he kicked
He's
it?
getting better. He's getting better. I guess he bombed a 60-yarder, which was beautiful. And that punt there, we've seen a lot. You know, I mean, we've seen it in practice a lot. We haven't seen it a lot in games, but he's very capable of kicking it high and having a great hang time. And that one might have been a little too far, but because he was kicking 35-yarders and 38-yarders and all that, when you do boom a 60, it forces a guy just to turn and run. And that return man actually did a great job of getting on that ball because he had a long way to go. But he's also done a pretty good job of punting inside the 20, and then you know, Adam Erickson has done a pretty nice job too when he's attempted to knock it down inside the 10.
Coach, do you feel like there's a particular theme defensively for you guys that developed these last couple of games?
GATA, that's our theme. Get after them aggressively.
Mark, another good big game. Todd Gurley, 117. If somebody told you or you heard that you're like 55-5 when a back runs for over 100 yards, do you?
Yeah, I've heard that. I've read that from time to time. It's not always easy to get done. But I think the one big run he popped at the end, you know, got him over 100. And if you bang away at it enough, usually you do spring at least one out there pretty good. And uncharacteristically, he did fumble today. Keith fumbled today. I guess those were the 2 turnovers, 2 freshman backs that you might expect in the first couple games. But you know, they both have secured the ball well. They have very good habits, ball security habits, and it doesn't mean it'll never come out, but they really do a good job of running with the ball, what we call high and tight, up against the rib cage. And when they get in the thicket, when they get into a crowd, they do a good job of wrapping it up with two hands, 2 arms.
Can you talk about the performance out of the Ogletree brothers tonight?
Yeah, that was nice. You know, it's good to see Alec and Alexander, twin brothers, make big plays for Georgia in a very big game. You know, just a beautiful day in Sanford Stadium. It was fun. And, I'm sure their family's very excited about that. They got wonderful mom and dad, and love their family, and I'm just glad the boys are doing good.
Coach, obviously you want to be playing your best brand of football with at the end of the season. How close are you guys to playing your best brand of football, you think?
Oh, I don't know. I think we're getting better defensively. Offensively tonight in particular, we were still not real solid driving the football. It kind of had to come in big chunks, but sometimes if that's what they give you, you got to take it. And it was very good for us to be able to drop back and throw it deep and make big plays. So I'm not really complaining about that at all. But I think our special teams are, becoming relatively solid. I think that at times we do some very good things on the special teams, and so that's important too. And the goal has just been to be trying to get better and better every week, and we still got some time to go to continue to get better. But the most important thing right now is just getting ready to play over.
And Jarvis Jones a little bit quieter tonight. Obviously, it's hard to follow up that game. But I saw him getting his wrist wrapped after the game. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
I don't know, and I saw some ice on there, but usually it's just contact, bruises, and things of that nature. I saw nothing. Ron would have come see me if there was something that he thought was other than a bruise.
Time for one more question, anybody? Coach, what was the reasoning for using Corey Moore there on the first play of the game?
Well, he's a physically tough guy, and you come in motion, you can seal the defensive end on an outside play. We're trying to see if he can do a good job blocking him because he likes contact, and it takes a guy who's kind of physical and enjoys that kind of thing.